Now, according to question, determine the magnitude of frictional force and acceleration of the block in each of the following cases. So we have focused. What is our motto? Our motto: determine frictional force, magnitude of frictional force and acceleration of the block. So first of all, if you make this one, μs means coefficient of static friction, μk means coefficient of kinetic friction, that is 0, that one 0.4, that one 0.3. So how can do it? In first case, if you make free body diagram of that block, simply mg always downward. So for simplicity point of view, we have taken g this equal to 10 meter per second square. Otherwise, you can take g this equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, multiplication point of view, 10 is more easier. Otherwise, 9.8. Okay, you can solve with therefore 9.8. G is equal to take 9.8. Otherwise, for simplicity point of view, we have taken here, we have taken 10 meter per second square. Okay, so here 5 kg, 5 into 2, sorry, 5 into g. So g is 10, so 50 Newton. Okay, here 50 Newton. Then, what about normal force acted by wall? There is N1. N1 is how much? That is 100 Newton. Okay. Applied force, that is 50 Newton only. And here frictional force available. What about static frictional force? Sorry, limiting. μs into n1. μs is how much? 0.4. n1 is 100. So that is 40 Newton. And μk, what about μk? 0.3 into 100. That is how much? That is 30 Newton. Applied force, how much? 50 Newton. Okay. 50 Newton is greater than 40 Newton. Limiting value. So motion start in this direction, downward. Because why? Because of this force is greater than, if applied force F is greater than limiting friction, then motion start. In which direction? Applied force direction. Okay. So what about acceleration? Acceleration is F minus, during motion, which frictional force available? Only kinetic. Only kinetic. So Fk divided by mass, that is A. So A this equal to, F is how much? 50 Newton. Fk is how much? 30 divided by 5. So 50 minus 30, 20 by 4 meter per second square. That is acceleration. What about frictional force at that time? That is 30 Newton. Okay. So question 1 is completed. Now we have focused on question number 2. Okay, clear or not? Make it. After that we have focused on question number case second. So part 1, acceleration of the block is 4 meter per second square and frictional force 30 Newton. Okay, upward direction, if written upward direction. Now, if you focus on second question, mg work downward, that is how much? 50 Newton. Okay, and here N2 is how much? 500 Newton. Okay, here friction FL is how much? N2 into 0.4 into N2, that is 500. That is how much? that is 200 Newton. And what about Fk? Fk is how much? 0.3 into 500. Okay, so clear or not? Now applied force is how much? 50 Newton. 50 Newton is not greater than FL. 50 Newton is less than, means F is less than FL. So motion is not possible. Motion is 0, acceleration is 0. In this case, if A is 0, so F minus small f, so F is equal to small f. Okay, so F is how much? That is 50 Newton. So frictional force is 50 Newton. Acceleration in second case is 0, and frictional force how much? That is 50 Newton only. Clear or not? That is case second. Now we have discussed case third. So make it, after that we have discussed case third. Okay, make it. Now we have discussed case third. Now free body diagram of that block. So first of all, that is 500. So if you make in this direction and in this direction, here 500 sine 37. So 500, 37 means 0.6. So that is 300 Newton. Okay, and in this direction, component of that force is in this direction, 500 into cos 37. So 500 into 0.8, how much? 400 Newton. Okay, that is 400 Newton. It means if you make free body diagram of that block, mg always work on downward. How much? That is 12 into g, or you can say this 120 Newton, because we have taken g is equal to 10 meter per second square. Here in this direction force is 400. Okay, and upward direction force how much? That is 300. Normal force N3 is how much? That is 400 Newton. So what about FL? FL is 0.4 into 400. And what about Fk? That is 0.3 into 400. That is 120 Newton. Okay, clear or not? So first of all, decide applied force in which direction. That is 300 and upward, and that one is 120 downward. Net force in. So finally, first we got applied force in this direction. How much? 300 minus 150, 120. So we got how much? 180 Newton. Applied force direction, like that one. So frictional force work in this direction. Clear? So first of all, check applied force is greater than that one. Applied force 120 is greater than FL. So motion start. It means what about A? 180 minus Fk. Fk is 120 divided by 12. So how much? 60 divided by 12, that is 5 meter per second square. So acceleration 5 meter per second square. And what about frictional force during motion? F is how much? 120 Newton. In which direction? Downward. Okay, if any doubt then comment it, I will discuss again. Okay, make it.